Well, and also I would say probably rules are designed in such a way that it's effectively trying to have a one solution for like the lowest common denominator.
10 with 10, 10 with Jen, 10 with 10, 10 with 10, 10 with Jen.
Yoni, welcome to 10 with Jen, where I ask 10 out of 10s like yourself 10 questions in around 10 minutes to get to know you in a fun way.
Thanks for having me.
Yoni, a little bio that I wrote for you. Yoni Belousov is a successful entrepreneur and investor known for his practical approach and ability to challenge conventional assumptions. After initially finding success in affiliate marketing as a teenager, he built an extensive portfolio of premium domain names and adjacent digital assets, focusing on the potential for stable returns and operational efficiency. Yoni views change and failure as valuable opportunities for growth and has ambitious plans for the acquisition of the .link extension. Outside of work, he enjoys spending time with his gorgeous young family. How are you, Yonikins?
I'm excellent.
Are you ready for your 10 with Jen?
Yes.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Ooh, okay.
In terms of treat, well, in terms of treats and sweet.
You once stated that you cannot teach people to be entrepreneurs by following guidelines. In your experience, what's one rule in business that you think is worth breaking and why?
I think most rules are worth breaking. I mean, unless it's illegal. But like in other words, I don't even think there is like all these rules are only kind of designed for you to follow a specific way to reach a specific point. But if you can reach that point without following the way, then the rule is effectively useless.
Upon my research, I noted that you opt not to form emotional attachments to your divestable asset. That said, is there a specific domain name in your portfolio that you'd find difficult or impossible to part with?
I mean, I have pretty much everything priced. Maybe ones that would be difficult. Effectively, the price corresponds, meaning that the price is, higher than, the quote unquote retail price.
Right.
But those are more names that I'm not even emotionally attached to. I'm just comfortable in holding forever, meaning that names that, let's say, they make a significant amount of revenue in parking, or there is so much demand for the name that, at some point it sells, and I don't really care if it sells in the next year, in the next 10 years, the next 50 years, that's fine for me. I mean, I guess beyond that, I would say I have names that, I'm using for either like personal names, like for example, I have my last name.com, and, obviously that one is not really for sale, but like it's not really emotional attachment. I guess it's just practically doesn't make sense because we already my whole family uses it. We have emails and so on. So like I don't know. I guess it's a little bit of a hybrid for me. Like in other words, I have emotional attachment to things that have other meaning. Like in other words, they're not really just investable domains. As far as investable domains, I would say that the emotional attachment is reflected more in the price.
Okay, yes, that makes sense. Do you own your kids' names at all?
Yes, but
Okay.
in that link.
And obviously you're going to hold on to them indefinitely. So, yeah.
Yes.
If you're not in front of a screen, where would I find you?
These days, probably in the playpen with with the kids. I mean, I guess somewhere outdoors, either in the city, on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the most terrifying animal?
I guess a hippo. Just in terms of how aggressive they are, like in terms of how many people they kill, it's the most dangerous one. So, like statistically, I don't like those odds.
When you see them charge in the water, like have you seen that? There's that one video of
Yeah,
that
I've
one
seen
that
it. Yeah.
Like, holy moly.
Yeah, and
If
they're
I was in that
fast
boat,
too.
I'd be freaking out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what if the engine stalls? You're done.
Yes. Favorite childhood movie?
I mean, I like Home Alone, for example.
Yep.
But then I also like my favorite movie is like The Matrix, which is also technically came out when I was still a kid, I guess, well, like a teenager.
Yep.
And yeah, so I don't know. I guess a mix of those.
What's something interesting about you that most people don't know?
Like when I was born, my mother tongue was Russian,
Yeah.
and then when my family moved to Israel when I was 4, and then I lived there for 9 years, and then my effectively because yeah, I'm doing school there, everything like this. All my friends, like my
Mm.
number one language became Hebrew, and then when I
Wow.
moved to Canada, my number one language became English. But what was weird is also like the other languages, since I was not using them as much, they kind of
Mm.
started falling off. Like meaning that at this
Yeah.
point in time, even though technically English is my third language, it's in terms of pragmatic use, it's my first language because
Yeah.
I just use it every day with everyone, and like
Yeah.
my wife, like luckily she's Ukrainian, but like we speak like half Russian, half English, kind of like
Okay.
a jumbled version. So
Yes.
even with her, like it's very weird how it works actually. And also as a result, I think like is there, like that's why it's, let's say when somebody's like, "Where are you from?" Now I tell them I'm from Portugal, and then it's like
Yeah.
hopefully they don't know Portuguese, and then there's no follow up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like besides that, it's kind of weird because it's like I'm kind of like I have this weird perception where it's like, oh, like it's almost kind of like I don't really feel like I'm from somewhere because I've kind of been sharing even my childhood development across multiple places,
Right.
and none of them really is like, oh, this is home. It's kind of more, but also as a result, that's how I'm thinking about the world, where it's like, okay, we all live
Mm.
in this world. It's just
Mm.
a question of where can you actually reside based on,
Mm.
like different circumstances, like, like
Mm.
peace versus war, financial, political, like lots of stuff like
Yeah.
this.
If you had to pick just one favorite destination from your travels, because I know you love to travel, where would it be and what made it unforgettable?
Probably probably Japan, just because it has, I guess, everything. I mean, I don't know,
Yeah.
Japanese people figured everything out.
Yeah.
Like they have the best food, and even in terms of food, like all the various kinds.
Yeah.
And somehow they're best in both fish and beef and pork. Like it doesn't even
Yeah.
make sense.
Mm.
And at the same time, also, like very nice cities. They're very safe, even though they're giant. Um, and country is pretty diverse. So you have, some, kind of snow, beach, whatever you want. So it's kind of
Yeah.
and also it's very interesting because Japanese are just so different than kind of like other parts of the Western world,
Mm.
um, in both kind of like tradition and tech and almost like just the things that they optimize for. It's very, very bizarre,
Mm.
but that's what makes it also, I guess, kind of exciting to travel there because it's almost like you see these things that are so different that it's almost like mini little surprises as you go through Japan.
You're stranded on an island with the Sherpas. Who would you eat first?
I mean, at this point, definitely JT.
Is it his height? Is that what you got?
I'm just effectively doing it because this is almost like the Michelin recommended meal. So this is so from what I heard from other people, it seems like he's the best one to eat, and that's why I'm just going with the consensus for this one.
And he's gonna love that.
Yeah, I mean, and also, no hair in your food is good as well.
Now that you're a freshly minted dad, is there any life advice that's taken a whole new meaning for you?
Kind of, I guess, if you're going to have kids, to not really bother pushing it back because it doesn't Like I feel like you're missing out more on pushing it back than missing out on a child-free life, especially in terms of um, kind of like quantity of life that you have with or without kids. Um, like meaning that you're effectively most of your life is going to be after with the kids, so you might as well start optimizing for that life now, rather than wait for it, to do it later on.
Well, Yoni, thank you for your time today. You've now been penned with Jen.
Excellent.
I'm staying out of it. I'm just creating like the mess and then I just walk away.